Wembanyama of all people forced them to reevaluate everything, because everything they thought Lofton Jr. wouldn't be able to do, he proved that he could. As a freshman in college playing with Louisiana Tech in the NIT tournament, Lofton had 27 points and 13 rebounds. And with the score tied at 74 with 0.3 seconds left on the clock, he put his name in the history books.
Interesting. Third place game.
All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hope you all are having a good day so far. So something a little different today. I got a video that popped up on my feed and I absolutely have to watch it, and figured let's watch this together. It's a video called "What Happened to the Fattest Player in the NBA," and it is from a channel called DKM. I don't know who this is referring to, and I'm very interested to find out. So not a long intro on this one because I don't have anything to say about somebody. I mean, you know, I'm not going to sit here and predict who I think is the fattest dude in the NBA, like maybe Oliver Miller, but that was a long time ago. I doubt this video is in reference to somebody from the 90s. But let's find out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to link the original video down below like I always do. That's going to be linked in the description box. So that's going to take you to the original DKM. Wow, good start today. DKM video. So if you like this video, you can check it out. Check out the channel. Subscribe over there if you like it. All that good stuff. Link is down below. Everybody else, please leave this video a like. Helps out a ton. And let's see who this guy is.
Basketball fans are weirdly fascinated by two things: length and girth.
And he seems a little overwhelmed by my girth and tonnage.
Big pause, but it's true, because those attributes matter on the court. When Victor Wembanyama burst onto the scene, fans were salivating about how long and tall he was. And at 7'4", he became the tallest player in the NBA.
He needs a little more girth to him.
Happened with Kenneth Lofton Jr. At 6'6", 300 pounds.
Oh wait, who's this guy?
Yeah, the same thing happened with Kenneth Lofton Jr. At 6'6", 300 pounds, he became the heaviest player in the NBA, and in the 2021 Under-19s World Cup, we got to see what happens when the longest and girthiest go head-to-head in a final. This was one of the most highly anticipated matchups in youth basketball, not because of Kenneth Lofton, but because you had the best prospect in America versus the best prospect in the world. And although this game marked the beginning of the Chet and Wemby rivalry, this game was all about Kenneth.
He's 6'6". Barkley was 6'4". His build is sort of similar to like Houston Barkley.
Lofton Jr. The 7'2" Chet Holmgren had no answer for the French prodigy, so at halftime, Team USA made an adjustment. Instead of matching length with length, they put the 6'6" unranked guard on Wembanyama, and the best defensive prospect in basketball history.
Oh, he's playing like Barkley too.
That kind of size before.
Miles,
all right, back to the basket, using his power. That should have been an offensive foul.
Kenneth Lofton Jr. took it down low every time.
Okay, when he's posting up and he's using his back, I'm with him. But when I see this, hold up, look at his right shoulder.
Kenneth Lofton Jr.
Bang, that's illegal. You can't be doing that. That's not a fair way to create space.
Took it down low every time.
And yes, I know LeBron does it all the time. He should be getting called for fouls too.
Backing down Wembanyama and pounding his way to the rim. And in a game that was decided by just 2 points, he was the difference maker, with 15 of his 16 points coming in the second half. Lofton Jr. led his country to a gold medal, but his performance wasn't a one-off. He was arguably USA's best player in the tournament and led the team in scoring, averaging 13.2 points per game on crazy efficiency, shooting 64% from the field. He played so well that even tournament MVP Chet Holmgren said that Lofton Jr. was the real MVP and deserved the award. And it was from this moment onwards people started to take Kenneth Lofton serious. Despite his high school dominance, he was always slept on because of his size. Scouts were skeptical about his potential and didn't think that his style of just overpowering opponents would translate to the next level. But
well, I mean, two problems.
Doing what he did against Victor Wembanyama.
That's a good freeze frame. One, the size worries me because of injury potential. Thinking like Zion. 2, if the league, because let's be real, he's not a star like LeBron James. So if he starts lowering that shoulder like this and just barreling through everybody, they're gonna start calling him for the foul. And then what? If that's like his main move, because so far we're only 2 minutes in, but that looks like his main go-to is lower the shoulder and basically just like punch people with that shoulder out of his way. If they start calling that an offensive foul on him, then what's he got left? But I'll stop there and see what else he has to offer. Maybe he could shoot too.
Wembanyama, of all people, forced them to reevaluate everything, because everything they thought Lofton Jr. wouldn't be able to do, he proved that he could. As a freshman in college playing with Louisiana Tech in the NIT tournament, Lofton had 27 points and 13 rebounds.
Damn.
And with the score tied at 74 with 0.3 seconds left on the clock, he put his name in the history books.
Interesting. Third place game of the NIT on the line. 4 seconds on the clock. Lofton against Roddy. Up and in with 0.3 on the clock. Stevens at the buzzer. Off the mark. And Louisiana Tech.
All right, that was a hell of a play right there.
In his first year, Lofton Jr. averaged 12.2 points, shooting 57% from the field. He led the team in rebounding, averaging 7.5 boards, becoming the first freshman to do so since Paul Millsap. He played so well this season that he won the Freshman of the Year award. And his sophomore year, he was even better, increasing his averages to 16.5 points, 10.5 rebounds, along with 2.8 assists and 1.2 steals. He did this while maintaining great efficiency, shooting 54% from the field.
I mean, I'm impressed with his speed. He's got speed and he can jump. I guess it's because he's still young. Because young Barkley was doing that too, even though he was overweight. Not quite this overweight, but, you know, if you guys remember young Barkley, the dude would get up. For a 6'4" dude to be able to do that's insane. Especially at his weight.
Despite this, he still wasn't on any of the draft boards.
He's quick.
And even after a strong performance at the draft combine, NBA teams still didn't take Lofton Jr. serious. And he shocked a lot of people, making the bold decision to declare for the 2022 NBA draft.
And won.
And in a class that saw his former USA teammates go top 10, Lofton Jr.'s name was never called. It wasn't long though till Kenneth Lofton had his NBA opportunity with the Memphis Grizzlies at Summer League. And in his first game up against Josh Giddey and good friend Chet Holmgren, Lofton Jr. made a big statement, and he did exactly what he did to Wemby to Chet in this game.
Can he shoot? Can he shoot?
Executed well. There's that bully ball. Lofton.
That is bully ball.
That opportunity. Also a great passer, rebounder, shot blocker.
Pound.
And a 7-5 game.
I feel like he's getting away with a lot of offensive fouls. All right, but he can shoot too.
And look at the swagger coming from the big fella.
All right.
Zaire Williams,
no way.
Tillman Sr.
On the buzzer.
All right. Wow,
he can shoot, he can deal with pressure.
Lofton finished with 19 points and 6 rebounds. Then again a few weeks later in Las Vegas, he had his best game yet. Kenneth Lofton had a 27-point double-double with 12 rebounds and a win over the Spurs. He'd averaged 15.2 points and 7.2 rebounds per game in Summer League, and these performances earned him a 2-way contract with the Grizzlies, where he would play back and forth in the NBA and G League.
What the? I missed all of this. I didn't see any of this stuff. All right.
Despite making his NBA debut early in the season against the Mavericks, Lofton Jr. would have to earn his stripes in the G. That didn't take him very long though, because Lofton Jr. was the most dominant player in the G League.
Damn.
Playing with the Memphis Hustle, he averaged 25.1 points.
By the way, naming your team Hustle is pretty lame. The Memphis Hustle.
9.6 rebounds, 3.2 assists, and shot 55% from the field.
Damn. I mean, as long as they're not calling him, they're not calling these offensive fouls, like he's producing.
He had some incredible performances. A triple-double against the Birmingham Squadron, 31 points and 12 rebounds, and then 33 points and 15 rebounds in back-to-back games against the Bluecoats. And against the best team in the G League that were on a 9-game win streak, Lofton Jr. went off for a career-high 33 points, had 16 rebounds, and made the game-winning play.
Wow. Okay.
King on the drive.
He's killing. He's killing the G
Lofton
League.
Jr. had earned his respect. He was named to the G League's All-Star game, was first-team All-G League and won the G League Rookie of the Year award. The Grizzlies had seen enough, and in April 2023 decided to convert his two-way contract into a multi-year guaranteed NBA contract.
Hey, props,
the very next day, Lofton Jr. would have his big moment, his first start ever in the NBA, and what he did in this game was historic and had never been done before.
9.7 assists. Nice spin move by Roddy, but the bank not open.
Good hustle, good hustle.
Junior. Back up in traffic. Test. Lofton. Fade away. Got it.
Okay.
3-point Oklahoma City lead.
Oh, he's got handles.
Lofton backing down.
Okay.
And scores. A Roddy three. Off the heel.
Oh, good hustle,
and look
bro.
At Lofton go after it and
look
finish.
At that.
Kenny Lofton Jr. Holy cow. Both of these teams, they've worked in similar ways where you get good guys who are good basketball players.
Wait.
Kenneth Lofton Jr.
Show me that again.
The
Okay.
number one seeded had 42 points and 14 rebounds in his first NBA.
He didn't even travel. That was a fair two-step. So he was aware of that, and that was what made that shot hard. He could have gotten away with the travel like everybody else does these days and made that easier. But that was a two-step. 42 and 14 in his first NBA start? What the hell? All right, let's keep going.
Not only was that the most points scored by a rookie that season, but he also became the first player in NBA history to ever put up at least 40 points and 10 rebounds in their first start.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Memphis Grizzlies thought they'd hit the jackpot. Fans called him Baby Zebo, and it seemed like he was the perfect fit for the grit and grind Grizzlies. Lofton Jr. was defying all odds for an undrafted player, but just as things were going so well, they took a turn for the worse. When Steven Adams went down with injury right before the playoffs, this seemed like Lofton Jr.'s moment to make his mark in the highest stakes of basketball. Fans were left disappointed when he barely played at all during the 2023 NBA playoffs, as the Grizzlies lost to the Lakers in the first round. Lofton Jr. returned to Vegas for Summer League, averaged an impressive 18.3 points, 6.5 rebounds, and even shot 46% from three-point range. He was developing and getting better, but early in the following NBA season, the Grizzlies were forced to make a difficult decision. Ja Morant was returning from his 25-game suspension, and they needed to clear a roster spot. Ultimately, they decided that Lofton Jr. as a back-to-basket isolation scorer didn't fit with the fast-paced playstyle they wanted to play with Ja returning, because playing this way, Lofton Jr.'s strengths as a player were never going to be a point of emphasis, so he was waived by the team and became a free agent.
Okay, that sucks, because that means that, yeah, it's a problem I have with the current NBA right now. If you got a guy who's dominating in the post, and you can't find a way to fit him into your offensive scheme, there's a problem. Like, you got a guy who could produce 20 and 10 down there easily. Keep him down there. You know, keep him down there. Let him do what he's doing. Get the other team in foul trouble. He's shooting like 60%. Like, what else do you want from the guy? I don't like that, man. Not every team needs to play exactly the same and spread the floor and just chuck threes and then leave a wide open lane for ISO dunks. That sucks, man. I'm hoping this story has a better turn, because I'd hate to see a guy like him just not have a place in basketball just because of the way it's played now. That means a guy like Charles Barkley would be ousted from the league if he played nowadays.
Over the course of last season, Lofton Jr. briefly played with the 76ers and Utah Jazz, though he played just 6 games with both teams, spending almost the entire season in the G League. Once again, Kenneth Lofton was playing out of his mind. He averaged 25 points, 9.5 rebounds, 4.3 assists, and shot 55% from the field, 65% on 2-pointers, and a career best 33% from 3-point.
And you can't figure out a way to use this guy? in the NBA, like,
range. He set his career high with 43 points along with 9 rebounds and 3 blocks when playing for the Bluecoats. And then in Salt Lake City, he did himself one better. When facing off against G League Ignite, knowing that scouts would be in attendance watching, Kenneth Lofton knew this was a big chance to show what he could do against future lottery picks like Ron Holland and Matas Buzelis. And once again, Kenneth Lofton rose to the occasion and delivered.
Everyone has handled the news of Ignite not coming back after the season as Kenneth Lofton Jr. gets the scoring start. Good job by Almanza pushing Kenneth Lofton away from the paint. Trying to go to work with 5 seconds
he
inside.
Tried to push
he gets
him away
in
from
close
the
and
paint.
finishes.
And, you know, the people that are in the midst of it don't really know how to handle the change. A great seal that time by Lofton.
Yeah, they're not used to a guy like this.
Lofton in close, he's got 10.
And him being here with us with Ignite and helping these young men, and you know, going through a lot of growing pains, where the main thing leads to look at what should we be doing next. Dink, you know, I was talking to Dink yesterday. He was telling me how much more comfortable he's getting.
That one was fair.
Level of respect for people.
Yeah, he's bringing in some of that 90s toughness into the game, and nobody knows how to handle this level of physicality.
For guys that have worked hard, Wojo has worked extremely hard.
Who split?
Lofton through the paint. Well, this has been the game plan tonight. Get it to Kenneth Lofton and let him go to work.
Right?
Sané makes a business decision.
He finished this game with 52 points, 16 rebounds, 5 assists, and shot 20 of 29 from the field.
Holy crap. What the hell? Yeah, man. Stick him on a roster. I'll take him here in Phoenix. 3 balls not falling? Give the ball to Lofton.
He was just unstoppable in the G League as a sophomore, but despite making the All-G League first team for a second consecutive year, NBA teams were still sleeping on Kenneth Lofton. The only NBA opportunity he got summer 2024 was with the Chicago Bulls, signing a 1-year non-guaranteed deal, but after being with the team in preseason and training camp, Lofton Jr. failed to make the final roster and was waived for the 4th time in under 2 years in the NBA. Going into the 2024-25 season, Lofton Jr. found
Okay, real quick. This is my beef with the league right now. This is why we don't have creativity in the game right now, is because whenever we have somebody like this who plays differently than your typical cookie cutter player, how do we reward his creativity? We set him aside. We toss him in the trash. And I really despise that. Up until recently, that was, I mean, what made Steph Curry great? Was it because he played like everybody else? Or did he bring something new to the table? He brought something new. No one ever seen a dude like him. They didn't know, they had to learn how to build a team around a guy like that. And guess what? It worked, you know? Michael Jordan, same way. Nobody seen a dude like that. They didn't know what to do with him. Charles Barkley, like Magic Johnson was another one. You know, no one had seen a 6'9" point guard like that. But they figured it out. They see something special and unique, and then they nurtured that creativity. But now it's just like, no, you're different. We don't like you. And I'm just not a fan of this.
Himself in a sticky situation. He was too good to play in the G League, that was abundantly clear.
Yeah.
So returning for another year to dominate again just didn't make any sense, because at this point it seemed like no matter what he did in the G League, it wasn't going to guarantee him a secure roster spot in the NBA. So instead of becoming the next G League legend that never makes it, Lofton Jr. made the decision to go overseas, and he signed with the Shanghai Sharks in China's CBA League.
Yeah,
this
I don't blame
like
him.
A great move. He'd get to play alongside former NBA starter Eric Bledsoe in a league that has
he
been
played for the
kind to
Suns.
former NBA players. For those that don't know, the CBA is a very popular destination for players who haven't quite given up on the NBA. Unlike in Europe where you go to fit in, it allows you to stand out. Jimmer Fredette put up Wilt Chamberlain numbers over there, and after going off for 75 points in a single game, got a chance with the Suns. Guys like Michael Beasley, Aaron Brooks, Lance Stevenson are all guys that have gone to China and received an NBA opportunity after. afterwards. But things haven't worked out so well for Lofton Jr. in China. The Shanghai Sharks, who are supposed to be the biggest club in the country, are actually having one of their worst seasons. They have a 1-11 record to start the season and sit in last place in the league standings. So far, Kenneth Lofton has played just 3 games. He's averaging 17.7 points, 12.7 rebounds, 4.3 assists, but is shooting 39% from the field, the lowest of his career so far.
I wonder if he's taking more jumpers.
Though I wouldn't panic too much. This is a rare rough spell for the Shanghai Sharks, and I do think they'll make some moves to get better and Lofton Jr. will start to dominate, and maybe that will result to another chance in the NBA further down the line, because people forget that Kenneth Lofton is still very young. He's only 22 years old. 22
years old? Wow. He'd be just getting out of college. He still has a shot. I'm gonna actually pay attention to this guy now.
And throughout his career, whether being unranked in high school, undrafted in the NBA, he has always bounced back from setbacks and exceeded expectations. But I think right now he's shaping up to be another case study of a great basketball player that was simply born in the wrong era.
Yeah, no kidding.
He's 6'6", 300 pounds, a tenacious rebounder and unstoppable scorer in the post.
Yeah, stick him in the 80s or the 90s. We'll have plenty. Teams would be fighting over a guy like this, actually.
Who does that remind you of? Charles Barkley.
Yeah, Charles Barkley.
Like Lofton, was heavy, undersized, but that didn't stop him from winning MVP in 1993 and having a long, dominant NBA career.
Absolutely.
That profile
would have had a championship if not for MJ.
Player, though, is extinct in today's NBA. The game is played fast-paced, on the perimeter, chucking up threes, and teams just don't have a place for post scorers anymore because analytic guys think they slow the game down.
It's so dumb. The guy's getting 10 rebounds, 15 rebounds. Who's picking up those bricks off the glass, man, offensively? Offensive rebound means a second chance at scoring. Since everyone is so addicted to just scoring high numbers, we'll get a second chance shot then. Have him freaking, feed the ball. If that's your scheme, have him get the offensive rebounds off the 3-point brick and then freaking dish it right back out to the 3-point line to somebody. That's really what you want to do, but he can still be effective even if he's not the primary scorer just by doing all the dirty work.
It's problematic because if you want Kenneth Lofton to be at his best, you need to give him touches. Clear out, let him ISO, go one-on-one with the taller defender and bully his way inside. It's been proven that nobody can stop him from doing that, but NBA teams don't want to do that. Kenneth Lofton is obviously a great basketball player. You don't score 42 points in an NBA game at 21 years old if you can't play.
I know, everyone's so afraid of doing something different. So everyone is trying to do the better version. They're trying to outdo each other in this, let's be real, in the Golden State style of play. Everyone's trying to be better at that. So now it's Boston. And, everyone's trying to beat Boston at this game. So much to the point where Boston has increased their 3-point shots this year just to counterbalance it, to raise a new bar.
Proven he can be dominant. He's given buckets to guys like Wembanyama and Chet who are considered generational defenders. Another problem is because he's both overweight and undersized at the same time, NBA teams have had a tough time figuring out what his best position is. They say
before he does it, small forward. I mean, in today's league, he can be a power forward because he's going to out-rebound everybody by boxing out and hustle. I would put him at power forward just like Chuck, tell you the truth. And his size, I think he's using his size as a strength. I haven't heard anything about him getting injured yet. That's my only concern. So, I would give him short contracts, 1-year deal, maybe 2-year deal max. But, just in case. But, yeah, I think right now if he took away his size, then it would be a problem because that's the majority of how his points are coming is from using that weight in his advantage. But yeah, I would say power forward.
He's too big to be a guard and too short to be a forward.
Says who? Chuck was 6'4". Chuck was 6'4", power forward, one of the greatest of all time to do it.
supposed to do with that? Of course, there are things he could work on and get better at. Defensively, he has limitations. While he's more agile and coordinated than he looks, he's too short to protect the rim and not quick enough to stay in front of the fastest guards in the world on the perimeter.
Yes,
and while he's capable of knocking down shots, he's not a consistent threat from the outside either. He isn't a reliable floor spacer that you can trust to knock down open shots. And I think the lack of progress during his time in the NBA in those two particular areas are one of the reasons that teams have given up on him. He's never going to be a #1 option that is heavily featured within an offense.
He doesn't have to be.
It's hard for coaches to find a role for him that allows him to be effective without changing the entire way they play. Coaches nowadays want their team to have an identity, to play a certain way, and they aren't trying to cater their
identity, meaning we're going to play exactly like everybody else. That's real unique.
Style to role players. And as for Kenneth Lofton, there really isn't a solution. People say he should lose weight and slim down, but his size is his biggest strength.
Yeah,
if he was to lose 50 pounds and drop down to 250, he'd lose his identity as a player and what makes him special. I don't believe for
I agree. Then if he dropped 50 pounds, then he'd have to play guard. And what's the point at that point?
Second, there are 450 players in the NBA better than Kenneth Lofton Jr. And he's...
What did it say?
1 second, there are 450 players in the NBA better than Kenneth Lofton Jr.
I gotta agree.
He's not the only one. There are guys all over the world that in terms of individual talent are good enough and better than guys in the NBA, but their style of play just doesn't fit the mold of what teams are looking for.
You saying we couldn't even get like a bench spot for him as a 6-man to come in? The 3 ball's not falling today. We need something different to spark the offense. Throw the wild card in. I'm sure he wouldn't mind, you know, even if he got like 15, 20 minutes a game. Like, the dude just wants to hoop, it looks like. I mean, we should take him here in Phoenix. Let him come off the bench if we don't want to start him. And we don't want to disrupt the flow of our not creative at all offense. Then, yeah, have him come off the bench. No problem. Let him do some stuff while the big 3 or whatever are getting some rest on the bench. Plus, we have so many injuries here between Beal and KD. Book has been solid, but KD is out like every other game, and when he's out for a week. Beal, same issue. So, like, there's a lot of opportunities here in Phoenix for a wild card player to step up when the stars are sitting or injured or load managing or whatever the hell they're doing. There's plenty of games of opportunity to just say, all right, throw him in there. Let's see what happens.
It's a real shame because Lofton Jr. was a breath of fresh air, an outlier that showed that not everybody has to be a robotic 6'9" athletic 3-and-D guy. You can still dominate and impact the game in other areas. That type of uniqueness isn't appreciated in today's NBA.
Agreed.
And it's simply not what teams are looking for. But regardless of whether or not Kenneth Lofton gets another chance in the NBA, he's too good of a basketball player not to find a place somewhere in the world where he'll be appreciated for what he is and be allowed to express himself as the dominant, unstoppable bully ball player that he is. But what do you guys think? Does Kenneth Lofton Jr. deserve another NBA chance? Can a player at 6'6", 300 pounds be an effective player in today's NBA? Let me know down below in the comments. And if you're still here, click the box in the middle of your screen to check out our last video. If you enjoyed this, you'll enjoy that. All I want for Christmas is for you to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to support us on this winter grind. And on that note, it's DKM signing out until next time, and peace.
I want to get a feel for what people are saying. 3-ball getting boring. Need more like Kenneth. If he can knock down a 3-ball consistently and play good he does play good defense. Maybe he can find himself in an Al Horford type of situation. I mean, it looks like he can hit the 3-ball, but that's just not his go-to. Too big to be a guard, too short to be a forward. Sounds a little like someone I know. LiAngelo, okay. He doesn't look a certain way, and that's why he's not in, is this guy's take. Meanwhile, Bronny, I know, guys. I know. We should stay with the Grizz. Forgot about this guy. He's an old school 4. Exactly, an enforcer. A strong bully who knows how to score. There's not room for those guys in today's game, which is a shame. I agree. So it looks like everyone is kind of on the same page here. which is like, it's unfortunate that the NBA has turned this way, because here, who was it? It was Shaq recently who was calling out for more creativity in the game. And my rebuttal to that was, it's not the player's fault. This is literally what the teams are looking for. They're looking for the exact same player over and over and over again. I mean, look here in Phoenix, we got Bill Booker and KD, 3 guys, all different sizes, but they're trained to play the exact same way. They do the exact same thing for our team. No one is unique out of those 3. And it's really boring to watch, I gotta say. It's really sad having 3 stars, but they're completely the same, and it's so boring to watch. So to Shaq, I say, it's not the individuals who aren't creative anymore. It's that they're not allowed to be creative. If they don't fit into the current mold of the NBA, which is spread the floor, stay in your spot, chuck the 3, don't worry about the offensive rebound, just run back, and then, that's it. That's basically the whole scheme. Once in a while, we might do a little pick and roll, but it's probably going to be a pick and pop. It's good, or a penetrate in and a dish out to 3. Like, this is all the NBA is right now. And like I said, there are players, obviously. There's players like him right here. And he's not getting an opportunity in the NBA because he doesn't fit the current mold. He's too unique. He's too creative. So how can we reintroduce creativity to the NBA if every time we find it, we punish it? Excuse me, guys. Yeah, that's my take. I wish him a lot of luck in Shanghai. At least it looks like somebody is appreciating his talent. And I hope he makes a ton of money out there, wins some titles, and laughs at the NBA's face for rejecting him. That's my take on it. Let me know what you guys think about this. Like the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. I'll see you later for the next one. Thanks for watching, all right? Peace out.